South Africans can expect a warm to cool Christmas period across most parts of the country, according to the South African Weather Service. This outlook follows a year marked by several deadly flooding events, the most severe occurring in the Eastern Cape in June, which led to the declaration of a national state of disaster. Now, the South African Weather Service's senior forecaster, Modika, says current forecasts point to a likelihood of above-average summer rainfall in the country's interior. This rainfall pattern is expected to persist from December this month through to April next year.
Looking ahead to the festive season, including Christmas and New Year, the South African Weather Service expects partly cloudy, warm to cool conditions across most parts of the country. Isolated to scattered thunder showers are anticipated mainly over the central and the eastern parts of South Africa. Thunderstorm activities is expected to occur primarily in the afternoon, although periods of increased moisture may result in morning showers in certain areas. Much of the rainfall during this period will be associated with afternoon and evening thunderstorms, which may at times be accompanied by heavy downpours, lightning, and gusty winds. So the public is strongly urged to take serious the warnings issued, as they play a critical role in the reduction in injury, loss of life, or property damage.
Now, the South African Weather Service has issued an orange level 5 warning for severe thunderstorms in KwaZulu-Natal. For more on this, we're joined in studio by SABC News meteorologist Mduduzi Mthembu. A very good afternoon to you, Mduduzi. The last time we heard of a level 5 weather warning, there were warnings of a risk to life and property. Can you explain what a level 5 weather warning means in practical terms for residents in the various parts of KwaZulu-Natal?
A level 5 warning actually means that the likelihood of the occurrence happening is very high, and then the impact will also be significant. So as we currently have a level 5 warning, it is color-coded orange, as you can see here in KwaZulu-Natal. It is orange, a level 5 warning, meaning that the likelihood of the impact occurring is high, and then it also corresponds with the high significance of the impact occurring, in simple terms.
KwaZulu-Natal has experienced repeated severe weather events. Are we at all seeing a broader pattern or seasonal trend emerging? And are there particular communities or perhaps geographical features in the province that make these areas even more vulnerable during this type of weather event?
First and foremost, the South African Weather Service did warn at the beginning of the season that we'll encounter a season where the rainfall will be above normal, including in the KwaZulu-Natal province. But because of the fact that it has been raining for quite some time now, since the beginning of the summer season, the ground is saturated, meaning that there's a lot of water on the ground, and therefore any amount of rainfall will run off on top of the ground instead of infiltrating into the soil, and that leads to the localized flooding that we see in those parts of the country. But there are many contributing factors that leads to localized flooding. This includes the inability of the drainage system to be able to manage the amount of rainfall. This is due to the fact that the urban development is not as per the town planning, and therefore the amount of water that is encountered is overwhelming the residential areas that are started by people in the wrong areas, such as floodplains and close to the rivers and stuff like that. That is what causes the occurrence of flooding to happen, especially in KwaZulu-Natal, where land is very scarce, suitable land is very scarce for the poor people.
As you speak about that suitable land being scarce, what are some of the early warning signs that the public should watch out for that indicate that conditions are worsening?
It is very important to follow the warnings from the South African Weather Service. It's on place to warn the people. So at this time of the year, it is the rainy season, which means that if you see storms gathering, you must be able to see what the forecast is. And then if you also hear on the radios and TVs that there is a warning, such as there is today, a level 5 warning, it means that you must take action. If you're living in low-lying areas, if you're seeing that the river is gaining a momentum, you must not even try to cross that river. Even if you are driving, if your car it will be submerged up to above the wheels, it is not advised that you use those rivers. But the rainfall is also accompanied by lightning and also strong and damaging winds. So it is very important to get the warnings and then adhere to those warnings, especially in KwaZulu-Natal, where lightning is also quite intense there in the high-lying areas of the province.
As you give your advice to residents and motorists, what about the farmers in the affected regions, and perhaps a time frame on how long this severe weather warning will last?
Contrary to popular belief, actually rainfall is really appreciated by the farmers because it fills up their dams, which will then last them in the drier season. Also, water is required for farming purposes. So farmers usually use the information from the Weather Service to plan their activities, including livestock farming and even crop farming. But as we already have mentioned, that we're expecting above normal rainfall for this rainy season, which is extending from October all the way to April. In the eastern provinces, we're expecting above normal rainfall, meaning that it will be rainy quite for some time up until we begin the drier season in the next year.
Very well. Thank you very much. That warning, SABC News meteorologist Mduduzi Mthembu speaking about the KwaZulu-Natal region as a level 5 weather warning has been put in place above normal weather and rain, of course, warning residents and motorists alike to approach the season with caution and ensure that they adhere to the rules. So we will continue, of course, to keep a very close eye on the weather in KwaZulu-Natal.